Hello, welcome to Korean Grammar Breakdown. It's episode 30. Practice a lot in order to win the game. Let's look at our vocabulary. Gyeonggi, noun, game, match. Igida, active verb, win. Dorok is a clausal conjunction, in order to, so that. Sometimes it could mean to the point of. Mani, adverb, much, a lot, or many. Yonsupada is active verb, practice, train. Ara is an imperative ending. Intimate style means do. And ushipshio is another imperative ending. It's an honorific and formal style. Okay, now imperative endings are used for giving commands, and they only attach to active verbs. Okay, now dorok here is not used. The verb in the first clause has to be in the present tense, and it's very common actually and useful. And the sentence is read backwards, so it's practice in order to, okay, win the game or whatever. So it's backwards like that. And let's see. Gyeonggi and Yonsup come from Chinese roots, and Mani is actually a form of the descriptive verb manta turned into an adverb by adding e. In the future, we'll talk more about how adverbs are formed from verbs, but this is so common that it's used a lot, and it's always listed as its own word anyway, but it's not always the case. Now, our base sequence here: Gyeonggi Rer, Yagi Da plus Dorok, Mani, Yonsup, Hada plus ending. So Ara, the of course, you should know by now, if you've been following along, means to turn the verb into the form, which we talked about extensively in episode 14. So with Hada, it becomes Yara, turning into Hera, usually contracted like that. And Ushipshio, of course, the drops out, Yonsup, Hashipshio. Now, Useo, we talked about in episode 1 and at least 1 or 2 other times, is not only an imperative ending, okay? It's used for any style of sentence. It can be used in questions, like Anyang Haseo is a question ending with Haseo. And it can be used for suggestions, and it can be used for commands, and so forth. Now, and this is used quite a lot for commands because it can also be a suggestion, and it gives honor. Remember, this is a reduction of ha, she, yo. So you're honorificating. Okay, well, this one also has she, and actually 2 she's, but anyways. So our final sentences are here. Gyeonggi Rer, Iki Dorok, Mani, Yonsup, Hera. Now, it's the intimate style. Yonsup Haseo is the polite style, and Yonsup Hashipshio is a formal and honorific form. Okay? And so it's practice a lot in order to win the contest, win the game, win the match. Okay? And those are the 3 forms. So let's see, what else can we say here? That's pretty much that. Now let's talk more about these imperatives. Okay, and again, imperative means you're giving someone a command. Okay, it's a command, and they only match with active verbs. The intimate style is, even though it's intimate style, it's still pretty strong. Okay, and pretty much if you're talking, like if you're a teacher and you're telling children what to do, you might use it. With friends, it's used, but it takes on a little bit of a lighthearted kind of thing. It's not necessarily used for strong commands, if you will. And ushipshio is higher honorific and formal together. And it's not used that often for actually telling someone what to do. It's used for things more like have a nice day, or come in, or things like that. You know, have a good new year, and so on. Where yeah, they're commands, but you're not telling someone what to do really. They're more like kind of formulaic kind of things. Have a good new year. Yeah, sure, it's a command, but now the most common way to tell someone actually what to do, it's not a kid or someone you're mad at or joking with, is the useo ending, because it's not only a command, as I said, it's also like a suggestion, so it's kind of ambiguous. So it's softer, and it's polite, and it's not too honorific, and it's not too intimate. Now, there's another form used in books, signs, tests, and so on, usually almost always written, the ushio ending. And then there's the gay imperative ending that's used mostly among older men and work and military type situations. And it's not super common outside of those kind of things. So aura is pretty much, if you're dealing with kids that aren't behaving well in a sort of friendly situations. And I've had to use this kind of thing in situations like in bars and where people were doing something I didn't like, and I tried to be polite, and it just like someone was, I don't know, like one time I remember this guy was drunk, and I'm just like, gara, like get out of here, you know what I mean? Because it was normally though it's not common. So pretty much with strangers you want to use usually the useo ending, because ushipshio, too high and honorific, aura and gay are both really strong and could get you in some kind of trouble. So really this useo, even though it's honorific, it's used all the time. Like in a restaurant, if you order something, usually you're going to say blah 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 juseo. If you're asking someone to do something, blah, 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 and remember, ju is an auxiliary verb a lot of times, so you're attaching it to another verb, blah, 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 juseo. And even though it's honorific, it's used even you're talking to people younger than you, even sometimes I've heard people using this with kids. It's just used a lot, and so that's the most common form. But this covers imperatives pretty much completely, and yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. So, if you have some questions about this, it's a little confusing maybe, feel free to leave some questions in the comments below. And thanks for listening. Have a nice day.